Today we're going to discuss pests in a hive. One of the first things you need to look for is ants. Now, ants aren't typically a problem, but they can be because what they eat is any sort of sugar, and they'll chew on wood. So when you have small ants like this, they're collecting wood, they're collecting sugars, and they'll eat up the hive. Typically, your bees will be able to fend off ants. And they keep it to a minimum, like you see here. These are just a couple ants at this point, and they're just getting that sugar water that had dropped when we were feeding this hive. So there's not any ants, and the bees are just fine. Right here we have a smushed wax moth. That's something else that when you see that, go into your hive and take a look. Now, wax moths. I took a piece of comb and left it out for a couple of days, and we could get wax moth larvae. So the damage it can do, it eats the wax. It doesn't really care about honey or really much else, maybe a little bit of pollen, but this, there we go, that is wax moth larva. You can tell because there's always multiple per cell if you leave it for a while. And here's kind of a sign there too, is there'll be a little bit of wetting, I guess, for lack of a better term. As they get bigger, because they will get bigger, there'll be more and more wetting. Right now they're pretty young because I only left them out for a couple of days, but whatever wax moth got in here laid a bunch, or a couple of them did. But you'll see these on this just because it was left out, so they're getting at it. This is what a wax moth looks like. Move, little guy. Woo. There we go. And I'll show you what I do, because I got my chicken trap here. It's not very fancy, but it's fancy enough to have wheels. And I just go ahead, and even though this foam is falling out a little bit, maybe I'll hold it here, but I just hit it a couple times. And these guys will start falling out. I don't know if you can see them way down there in the dirt there, but my chickens eat them up. And it's protein for them, so it makes me happy. But I just hit it against there, trying to get everybody out, and then we will render this wax.
Okay. Right next to that bee is an indentation, and that is an old frame that the hive was a weaver hive and it was taken over by some wax moths. And that little dent right there is what happens when the wax moths leave cocoons. They'll burrow into the wood. And we froze these frames to make sure that they were safe to be put back into other hives so we don't reinfest another hive.
Yeah, I'm in shape like this to get things like earwigs, spiders, cockroaches, stuff like that. And you can search the internet looking for what's harmful to your bees, what's not. I can tell you, a hive that's like this, a hive that's like this, you can be okay with a couple cockroaches or earwigs or anything really under. So this, never mind. Oh, there's hive beetles running all around up there. Anyway, typically under that hive cover we have a ton of earwigs, and I want to talk to you about them just because there's this thing called the circle of life, right? So earwigs don't hurt your hives at all. They don't mess with your bees. They don't eat your honey. They don't cause any real disruption. All they do is they get under that cover and they make more earwigs and they just keep doubling population. So not a big deal. But what eats the earwigs? And that would be spiders. So you'll constantly see spiders making nests and doing all sorts of things under there. And they'll occasionally eat a bee here and there. Not really a big deal. But when those spider eggs hatch and you have a ton of spiders under there, they're going to be fighting with the bees a lot and maybe even take over that top cover. Well, you need that top cover space so that the bees can ventilate. And when I say ventilate, what we do is under the inner cover here, we'll put pennies or tacks, depending on what we have on hand at the time. And that will lift up the back. Maybe able to tell off this one, and it's lifted up just a little bit. There's a gradual incline towards the back, and that gives it a chance to get that hot air out of the hive. During the summer, this is great. Hot air gets out, and during the winter, it's great because the moisture is pushed out. So there's really no reason not to have that cracked open a little bit. The other thing you have to worry about on top of the earwigs and spiders is cockroaches. Now, I haven't seen cockroaches do any sort of damage to the hive. If you know of what cockroaches do, or you did a quick Google, leave it in the comments. Let me know because I have not looked it up. I just see them, I kill them, I go, ooh, gross, and then I move on.
Spiders. One of the pests of the hive. This spider web is on our hive stand, and you can see it gotta be. Here's we have a little bit of spider web down here in the corner. But with this hive, we generally see a cockroach come out when we open the outer cover.
So in the bottom of our frame holding area, we have a small hive beetle running around. If he gets close to the other bees decide to get close to him, they will harass him until he is at the highest point. Because that's where the hive beetles like to run, is higher and higher. So they'll keep chasing him, he'll get higher, and in this, of course, they'll just fly out. But if it's inside a hive, what will happen is they'll be trapped pretty much at the inner cover in the corner. So as you pop the hive open, you may see these hive beetles coming out. If they have beetle traps, they'll chase them right into the beetle trap. That's what they're there for.
Yes, there we go. That is a small hive beetle. You do not want to see this in your hive. So because we see one, we are going to make sure we put beetle traps in this hive to ensure they don't get out of hand. Because they will. Okay, this is a small hive beetle trap. This one is called a beetle blaster. They have not endorsed our video or anything like that. We just use them. Beetle blaster, betterbeetleblaster.com if you're interested in. But basically what we do is we fill it about halfway with some vegetable oil. And you can see right down here, maybe. There we go. There's a beetle, small hive beetle, right down there. Only one in this trap, so that's a good sign for our hives. It's working, but we didn't really have a small hive beetle problem, but we put these in as a precaution because it's not going to be easy or anything like that. You can see they do put some wax around, crop-wise, the frame, so you definitely want to make sure that you run your hive tool over the top of the beetle blaster, make sure if there's any small hive beetles hiding underneath that they get squished, and also that you lift straight up whenever you're pulling it out from between the frames so you don't spill any oil because it will go on the bees and they won't be able to breathe. Alright, if you have any questions about this, let us know in the comments.
3 weeks ago, I put this under our hive. It's a 10-frame hive. You can see that it's one of the bottom boards that has a gray on it. We typically don't use these. We have solid bottom boards, but this particular hive, I was just curious. The proper use of these bottom boards is put some sort of sticky material, oil, whatever, on the actual board in the grid, and then you slide this under your hive for 3 days. Now, after that 3 days, pull it out, and then essentially you're going to count mites in boxes, okay? And then you average how many mites you have, and over 3 days, if you have over 6 hives or 6 mites average, that should probably be your threshold that says, hey, you need to do something with this hive, okay? But this one I put in 3 weeks ago, so the difference is 3 weeks. I talked about 3 days. So I put in 3 weeks ago just to see, and we'll give you close-up images of the varroa that's actually on here. And what we had done 3 weeks ago was a brood break for this hive. We had taken the queen out, and we actually split her into a nuke and let these guys to create their own queen. So that means that they take a 3-year-old or 3-day-old egg, not 3 years, 3-day-old egg, and they pull out that cell to form a queen. During that time, you get approximately 16 days for the queen to emerge, and then 4 or 5 days for it to go out and mate, and then another 2 or 3 days for it to come back and start actually laying fertilized eggs. And then you're talking 21, 23, however many days after that. So starting out that day 3 of an egg, all the way out to when new worker brood emerge, it's almost a month worth. So that's a pretty large brood break that gives the bees time to all emerge from the capped brood. That gives all the varroa time to come out, and then the varroa have nowhere to lay, so they can't double in population again. Giving them a month of just sustained numbers, and then eventually they'll start dwindling down. The queen will start laying again, and then you're good to go. You've basically kept the number stable of varroa mites, and your colony will be able to survive a little bit longer.
So you're saying it's part of our IPM?
This is part of our integrated pest management. So remember, pest management is not just for varroa; it can be for small hive beetles, wax moth, varroa, tracheal mites, all sorts of things. So
one of the other things we talk about for our IPM is beetle blasters.
Not the most humane way to study, but she's captured him in a jar because we have no idea what that is. And he's big. Look at this. That's the size of my finger. That's,
At least in it.
Another pest for apiary is the dragonfly. This one, some cool features. But the dragonfly will actually capture and eat your bees. We'll have a video later on dragonfly being destroyed by a honeybee, but dragonfly normally wins. Who do we want to fight? Dragonfly or bee? and that's what balling looks like. It's an alternative way of killing something without actually killing the bees. They will just essentially latch onto the enemy and vibrate themselves until they create heat and become an oven. And they just cook that little guy, and he's done. Our hives here are very close to tall grass. It's got a nice little zinnia type garden in front, wildflower garden. And something you need to worry about when it comes to pests here is under trees. So we got your spiders and cockroaches that can be under the inner cover. Now in the middle of summer, you'll notice that there's a lot less of those. But during the springtime, holy moly, there's a lot. And if you don't kill them or get rid of them somehow, you got a problem. The earwigs are pretty easy to get rid of. If you have beetle blasters or some sort of hive entrance trap, it'll catch the earwigs. You can feed the earwigs to your chickens or whatever you want to do with it. But I'll just keep moving around. But with the grass situation being so high right in front, we got a couple things that happen, and that will be snakes, mice, and depending on your area, maybe even rats. Not really sure. But we have during the summer, the hive entrances are completely open, and that's because it's so hot. We run solid bottom boards. We don't do the screen. And what you can do when it comes to the snake and the mouse issue is summertime, you're pretty much okay. But they learn that there's hives here and there's an open cavity that they can sleep in. Now, at night, during the summer, these hives are guarded by guard bees. As it starts getting cold, you hit fall and you hit winter, they're not being guarded as much just because the hive is clustering to stay warm. Now, when the hive clusters to stay warm, they do kind of like, if you think about a football team or rugby or anything where they all get together and form a pack to come up with a plan or rugby or fight with the ball. That's basically what the hive is doing. If you really examine what's happening on the inside, is they're rotating in and out of the center of the cluster in order to stay warm, which keeps all these alive. Now, when they're doing that, they're not guarding the entrance, and they're not really protecting anything. So in the front, you don't want to keep it wide open like this. You want to use that entrance reducer and typically flip it upside down so that the open area is facing out. Or you use a mouse guard, and that will prevent your mice from getting in, your rats, and your snakes. So that's what we're worried about once we get towards fall. During the summer like this, the only thing I'm worried about is in the evening. Even though there's already the wax moth can get in and hive beetle can get in just that front entrance. And that's just because there's less and less activity going on. Now I can tell you because we have reminders that when I look at weight in the evening towards 10 o'clock to midnight is when the hive hits the heaviest. And I believe that's because that's when all the foragers come back. Because during the summer days, I mean, the sun doesn't really go down until 9 o'clock anyway. So all of those bees are coming back. And since we have the reminders, we can check during the winter as well and see when does the hive get heavier and when does it get lighter. So if we see during the day that it gets lighter during the winter, it doesn't really make sense here. So we go ahead and check out. We'll open the front and see if there's any pests that should be in there. The other thing is here we have the hives. These hives are originally raised up because we got skunks, and the skunks will try and get in, but they just scratch at basically the dead insects that the bees are leaving out front.